You're listening to A Bit Later, a midlife stand-up podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ziegler, and I'm sitting down with comedians from across the country to find out why they are pursuing stand-up comedy and what they are learning about themselves at this stage in their lives. Today's guest is Rob Cunningham, a talented comedian and hip-hop artist from Cleveland, Ohio. You can hear Rob on the Riff Stop podcast and follow him at Learning to Bomb on Instagram and Twitter. Let's jump into the conversation with Rob Cunningham.
Yeah, I don't even have dreams of making it a stand-up. Like if I do, that's fine, but I just want to be good at it. Like I don't necessarily have to, be out headlining on the road or anything. But yeah, I need better hours so I can really do stand-up how I want to.
I'm noticing that too. And, both of us kind of started at the same time. You were 41 and
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
and I just turned 40, and I noticed that like having a job that allows you to, work at night or go out at night to mics and things like that is a lot better than being stuck in a job where you don't have that flexibility. That's all. That's very
Yeah,
important to work
definitely.
on. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you're coming from Cleveland, Ohio. What's your backstory? What was your family life like growing up?
I was raised by my grandparents for the most part. Like my dad was around, but I never really lived with him as a kid. My mom was in and out, but yeah, raised by my grandparents in a nice little suburb. Um, Pretty nerdy growing up into video games and uh yeah, it was a pretty normal upbringing. Then I realized I was gay when I was like 12, and that kind of made things weird.
Oh,
uh,
okay. You came online when you were about 12.
yes,
So,
kind of when
hey,
I realized oh shit,
how
yeah.
did that shape things through your like teenage years? We grew up around the same era. It's a lot different than now in terms of acceptance and what have you. But
Oh
would
yeah, I didn't come out till I was 29.
oh
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So
Late start on a
your
few things.
grandparents didn't know? Grandparents didn't know until you were 29, pretty much?
No, yeah, my grandmother passed before I even came out. My grandfather, everybody knows now, but yeah, nobody had any idea until I came out.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Did that inspire you, or like was that something that now like are you drawing from those experiences
oh
for your
yeah,
comedy? Yeah.
definitely. That's
And
it's rare. Like there are gay comics, but most gay comics look and sound gay. Like it's like I gotta get a cheat code.
you have a wider appeal, I guess. So you can look at it. Yeah, so all right, on a side note, what kind of video games were you playing growing up before I was curious.
Uh,
RPG
mainly
stuff?
s- Mainly sports. Like I was into,
Okay.
all the NBA lives back in the day. I remember crying my eyes out because I couldn't get NBA Jam because it was sold out everywhere. But yeah, it was mainly stuff like that. Then when I got a little older, I got into Halo. Um, yeah, Halo was the only first person shooter I ever really cared about. But mainly sports and now GTA type stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you really were throwing everybody off. Did any of your friends know know you were gay? Or?
Nah, in my mid 20s, people started to question things just because when you a young man, you're not disfigured or anything. You got a job, you have no chicks. People start to wonder, but I
Interesting.
was never just outright accused or anything like that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean, hey, thank you for sharing that with me. But what pushed you to get into stand-up comedy?
I always liked stand up. Even as a kid, I remember buying one of Chris Rock's albums. I used to watch Comic View all the time, but I never knew how you did stand up. I didn't know how the process of creating a joke, working. I thought people just went up there and talked and it came out like that. But I started watching Kill Tony, oddly enough, maybe about
Okay.
5, 6 years ago, and oh okay, it's kind of a process. And I started listening to other comedians podcasts like Tuesdays with Stories, Mark Norman and Joe
Hmm.
List, and they get into a lot of the weeds of how jokes come about and that you actually go work on them and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I could do this. And
Yeah.
started writing maybe about 6 months before I actually hit the stage, just to see what I could come up with. And yeah, after about 6 months, it took me like 6 months to have three jokes I felt comfortable with telling. But yeah, I got the courage up and went up and did it. Got hooked.
That's awesome. Where did you start? Remember your first open mic, like that experience?
My first mic was actually one of those. It was a mainly music open mic. It was like all musicians, me, and a magician. And yeah, everybody had like 10 minutes to do whatever. I think I did like 2.5, 2:45. Like
Yeah,
that's all I
10
had.
minutes is crazy. For your first time. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. Got a decent reception, and I was hooked. And after that, I found some comedy specific open mics. Started going to those.
That's awesome. What's the scene like in Cleveland?
It's pretty chill. It's a decent amount of people. It's not like huge, but it's definitely not small. You can find a mic every night if you really look. Um, some nights there are multiple, and everybody's real supportive. Of course, when you first show up, people are kind of standoffish, like just whatever. Let's see what this guy's about, because a lot of people show up once and never come back. But yeah, once you show up, show that you're actually taking it serious. People start to converse with you, give you tips, just kind of welcome you in.
It's
So
really
it's
great.
real welcoming.
That's good to know. And not, I mean, I don't want to say it's not the norm, but you hear the stories of just kind of like people are more standoffish, everybody's kind of cliquey. Um, I had the benefit of like a decade ago, I was like producing some shows around the Philly area for like
Oh,
five
nice.
years. And yeah, and like like the cheat code aspect was for me, I call it cheat code too, of like I kind of always wanted to do stand up, but that was a way for me to get involved without making that commitment. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like totally different, like going out to mics and doing that. So I know some people from back then, but I'm not like ingratiated in the scene. I kind of stopped doing a lot of stuff around COVID. And then this past year just felt like I should go for it again. Uh, but going back to your first time, and the 10 minutes is wild because I was going to ask you how much time do you think you have right now, or how long is your set at the moment?
I could probably do a good 15 right now.
Okay.
I know I got like I can kill with 10 minutes for sure. And with the right crowd, I can get that 15 off, but a couple of them could be sketchy. But yeah, definitely
I
a good
got you.
solid 10.
I got you. I'm running into that a little bit. I have like five. I have five solid. I'd like to keep building to 10. Um, but you actually won a comedy contest recently, I saw.
Yeah, on St. Patrick's Day, it was like everybody got a minute to just do their best stuff, and it was like 42 comics, and I ended up winning.
Sick. Congratulations. What
Thank
was
you.
the prize?
$100.
Sick. That's great.
Yeah,
And that's at like a normal, like, was it a mic, a place that normally does a showcase or a mic, or was it like a place you had never
yeah,
gone to before?
they have weekly showcases there. They used to have a mic there, but they kind of cut that out. But yeah, they still do weekly showcases there. Yep.
Okay. How many mics can you probably hit in a week, generally?
Me or like just somebody in Cleveland?
Oh yeah, somebody in Cleveland. I guess follow up is like, how many do you get to on a regular basis?
I can say you could probably hit a good 8 to 10 in a week.
That is really good.
Me at my best, like when I first got hooked, I was hitting about 4 to 5 a week. But uh, two of those would be like late mics, so it'll be a mic that starts at 8, and then another one that starts at 10. And 10 is my bedtime for work, so I was like really pushing it with those. So I kind of cut the late ones out. So now it's 2 to 3 a week for me on average till I get another job.
Okay. That's been a theme already in the conversation, is like getting older and going out to later mics, because we have a few that start in Philly that are at like 10 o'clock, start at 10. And I would
Yep.
love to do that. The last time I did that was when I dabbled in stand up maybe like 3 years ago. Uh, and I just remember being like too drunk at those mics. And it's just like I definitely embarrassed myself. But was your first mic your first time performing on stage in any capacity, or did you kind of grow up with any school plays, any interest in music, whatever it might have been?
No school plays that I can remember, but I definitely performed my fair share of music on stage. I was a rapper. Uh,
Nice. What was
for
your rap
about
name?
oh god, the one I had the longest, which is the worst one, is time. It was an acronym for This is Musical Excellence, but that's too long to have, and then time is just impossible to search. So didn't yield the greatest results. The people who heard it enjoyed it, but not many.
That was the era though. Were you like teenage years, early 20s doing that? Or
I started I started like writing verses in like middle school, but actually recording I was probably about 14, 15.
oh,
But
how long did you do that for? A couple years.
about 25 years.
25. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh
music was
wow.
my first addiction. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you remember growing up like listening to from our era of
Oh
the
man.
past? Like what were you inspired by there?
Everything. Like I started off more into like southern stuff. So like the No Limit era was huge for me, Cash Money. Then I got to New York, like Jay-Z is my favorite rapper of all time. I was a
Same.
huge Big Pun
Same.
fan. Like I listened to everything. I listened to Pac heavy. Like being in the Midwest, there's really no regional bias. So
Yeah, that's true.
except for Bone, like you can't say anything bad about Bone Thugs, but we listen to everything. Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's always kind of this crossover with like obviously like stand up and music, and whether it's pacing. Rap makes sense since it's lyrical. I would guess
Hmm.
like to inspire. Like I'm sure I've tried in high school to rap. I don't think I recorded anything, but I thought it was just kind of the time that, but everything you're saying of that era of hip hop is what I was listening to, along with a lot of like 70s stuff. Just music from across the board. There's always music in the house. My dad's a big fan, had a huge record collection, that kind of stuff. So, how do you feel, or what's the situation like fitting in with younger comics? You said like it's welcoming, but does the scene lean younger, or or do you have like a group, more in this age range?
It's it's kind of spread pretty evenly. Like we got some young dudes like who've like just turned 21. There's a bunch of like late 20s people. I would say the average age in our scene is probably like 28 to 30, somewhere around there. You got
Mhm.
some older guys, guys a few years older than me. You got some 60-year-olds in the scene. Like it's a wide range of ages, and yeah, I would say yeah, late 20s, early 30s is about the average.
Yeah, I would say the same, but that mirrors what you just said about on the Philly scene of like there's definitely some guys in their 60s and 70s even getting up there now doing it. It's just such an accessible art form that I feel like people right now are drawn to it. And like, what would you say about like this age, be it midlife, whatever it is, that kind of pushes you to want to have that creative outlet?
I mean, I've always needed a creative outlet. That's why I did music for so long, but I feel like I don't really have the time to do music now. Like it's just so much more involved. Cause I've made my own beats. I, wrote, recorded myself, mixed all my
Mhm.
stuff. So it just takes a lot more to get that same fulfillment. I can just go, take a couple hours out of my day and go get that same fulfillment. Just doing stand up, and it's just yeah, much more rewarding, much faster paced, and it's more communal. Like rap or music in general, like it's just hard to get that many people together, especially at this age. Everybody got kids and stuff. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah,
That's it.
comedy is just like the perfect place.
That's really cool. What would you say is something that you've that's maybe gone wrong at a show or at a mic that you can like laugh about now, because it gone wrong for you, and then maybe like if there's any like experience like horror stories with promoters or the room or anything like that. But what's something for you?
Um, First one, this is like the first time I bombed because like I went and bombed on purpose basically because I had been doing like that's probably like my fifth mic in, but like I was just getting too good of a reception. I felt like I'm like I need to know what bombing feels like. So I went up and told this story, and I had never done a story before. And they had to act out at the end, and it was like silence for 3 minutes straight. And when I went to do the like part of the act out, it was me like doing like I'm about to dunk like Jordan. It was like a light above me, and I like hit it with my hand. It was just the most embarrassing. Like it was already silent. You just make this loud noise out of nowhere that you didn't even expect to happen. It was like, let me get off this stage. But yeah, looking
And
back now, laugh at it.
is that an instance where like even when you made that you hit that light like the silence just stayed? Is that one of those
Yeah, like
instances? Yeah,
yeah,
there's no I get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was just total embarrassment.
Have you been performing any showcases, any promoted shows and things like that?
Not lately. I did a few showcases when I first started. I just haven't been reaching out to get on them lately, just because work and stuff has been crazy. But yeah, I definitely do when I can, and definitely enjoy doing that to get the longer set times and stuff like that. Different crowds and more experience. Yeah, I definitely need to get back on that.
Okay. Are they done mostly produced by comics, or are there specific like promotional companies in the Cleveland area that you would reach out to?
Everything is run by comics here.
That's great.
Everything,
Yeah.
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 Yep.
It's really cool. Mostly bar shows or the theaters or
Mostly bar shows. We got one comedy club, but you got to like that's for like you got to graduate to that. Yeah, a lot of bar shows. Pretty much all bar shows. Yeah,
what club is out there? It's not Zanies, right? Is it a
hilarities.
Hilarities? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to so in addition to like promoting, I thought I also kind of managed a couple comics, which is
Hmm.
kind of weird. That was like just all it was like my background is in like fundraising and things like that. So it's just a lot.
Okay.
It's just like sales calls, sales. You're just calling and pestering. And like I kind of get where my role was for the comics. So like, yeah, like you do this. So not and also like it lends this air of credibility, but I don't have like manager connections and agent connections and things like that. But hilarities, I probably have their number in my phone from just trying to get people from the area booked. Are you planning to like travel outside of the area, go to different cities when you can? I know, work constraints aside, like big picture, if or what do you think there?
Oh yeah, definitely want to do that. I went to Kill Tony last July just so he got tickets, but I signed up of course, and I hit a couple open mics while I was down there. Now if you want to talk about a scene that is not welcoming,
Austin? Yeah.
yeah, just because it's so many people move down. Like I understand why it's not welcoming, but you definitely feel it. Like it's so many, like they just so many people move down there specifically for that. It's like screw this guy. Like you're visiting. Like I made the move. Like
Yeah, yeah.
so
And
I
that's
completely understand it.
and beyond like, obviously the mothership, there's what, Creek and Cave. There's a lot of
Yeah, you
clubs
got
in
Cap
Austin.
City, Creek and Cave. It's like 4 or 5 on 6th Street alone, and there's a few spread around
Yeah.
the neighboring areas. So, yeah, it's a lot of them.
Plus, I would imagine bar shows and things like that.
Yeah,
You ever head up to like Jamestown, New York, or the Erie, Pennsylvania area by any chance?
I haven't. No.
So Jamestown has a museum basically called the National Comedy Center,
Okay.
and Erie has like a little art scene too. I have friends that live up there, so I've checked out the museum. I haven't performed there. Next time I go, I'll certainly like look for a mic. But I think in August, the end of August every year, there's like the National Comedy Festival, and there's a lot that happens there, which is probably a little more accessible than like even in that week than Austin is on like a Tuesday or something. But it's just something to think about. As you mentioned, Austin, that came to mind. It's a cool place to check out the Comedy Center, and then they have touring comedians, national headliners, and stuff like that. But I think there's a little scene there of shows for sure and open mics. I hope to get there
Yeah, I definitely
again.
check that out.
Yeah. Um,
I hear Pittsburgh is pretty nice. We get some people that come here from there every now and then, and from Buffalo.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like, and actually, my friends that live out that way, they're always going to Cleveland to do something. So I think you guys have like the hub probably of entertainment. I mean, Pittsburgh, I've only gone to once, honestly, even though I'm on the other side of the state, but it's like a very different city from Philly. So
Oh yeah.
I'd have to go there again. For me, I think it's more I could bounce between. I did like go to New York, go to Mike's there when I feel more comfortable, and then there's actually a lot of things, a lot of mics that happen in Delaware, further south to DC. So East Coast makes sense. And then, yeah, you're right there, though. You're right. People converging. I'm sure that builds the scene a little bit.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah. Um, let's go back to the bomb because I didn't ask you this question and your and your Instagram handle is learning to bomb. So what to you is the benefit of bombing?
Just building comfort.
Mhm.
Like it's easy to be up there and people are laughing. Like that's nothing. But you got to sit with that silence and still get everything out. Try not, not rush through it because that's what you want to do when you're bombing. Is just hurry up and spit it out like Twister or something. Just try to
Mhm.
rush through it and get out of there. But you just got to learn to sit with it and build comfortability in that silence.
Yeah,
I feel like
you're
that's
right.
the most like I feel like if you can be comfortable with silence, you like even if you're not funny ever, just being comfortable with that silence is like a huge leg up. So many people like run from like Mark Norman runs from silence and he's a millionaire from comedy. Like like it's crazy.
He does always have to fill the silences on podcasts and everything. Yeah, I haven't watched his
Yep.
new special. I saw some like the crowd work clips of a different. I think that's a different thing, not his full special. Who have you
Yeah,
watched
he put out
recently?
like a
Oh,
he put
sorry.
out like a I was gonna say he put out like a documentary around his special, so that's probably some of the crowd workers from that.
Yeah,
Um
and it
yeah, I
was all like
watched
young women. Like he's
yeah.
just kind of pushing the envelope with them.
Oh, no, that's a different thing.
That's
I
a
know what you're
different thing.
talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't actually watch that yet, but I saw the thumbnail. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, it's
Hmm.
like I guess they're gonna have different comics in different situations like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Recently I haven't really watched many specials. I was forced to watch Bert's most recent special. Wasn't bad. I did watch Mark's. But outside of those two, I couldn't tell you the last special I watched. Oh, I watched Joe List's most recent special, Small Ball, I think it was. And I did watch Big J's crowd work special. That dude is like a genius with crowd work.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see him once live at the Stand, and it's all, I mean, it's just all crowd work. I like the was it the roast of Louis J. Gomez years ago? Chinko was just like says the Big J's like just write a joke, just write one joke. It's just kind of like one time write a joke. But I yeah, I think I can't remember the last special I watched either. I love Joe List specifically on Are You Garbage every time he's on there. He's hilarious. Um, I don't really watch Tuesdays. I like the one with Mark Norman and Sam Morril, their podcast.
Oh, we were drunk.
We might be drunk. Sometimes,
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of this now is just clips. It's just I'm not sitting down and even if it's only an hour, I'm just usually scrolling and I'll see some clips.
that's
Everything's stand
that's
up
what
in my
I'm doing
algorithm.
to get through the workday is just podcasts all day. So that's how I listen to all of them. Yeah.
I feel you. I had a moment during like COVID where I really started, everybody was starting a podcast. I feel like I'm like 6 years behind on that, but it's like, I said to my girlfriend, I was like, I think I'm becoming like schizophrenic. I got like too many voices. And it was all this, like, you get a point where people are on each other's podcasts. You're hearing a lot of the same stories. So I see where people get those like parasocial relationships. But if you focus on stand up, it makes sense to like that's why I like We Might Be Drunk. I probably should listen to Tuesdays of Stories, but listening to how people build the craft is always good to hear, especially now. I think I removed myself from it for a little while after promoting, and I
Hmm.
now I'm like I should lean into this more. It makes me happy, so why not?
Yeah,
So
it's a little peek behind the curtain just to get some tips and just kind of see how they approach things. Yeah, like before you know, like you just don't know. It's like, okay, they just go up there and talk. Like, no, they wrote this. They've done it 50 times at least before you saw it, probably. And yeah,
Hmm.
it's a
Well, what you were
process.
saying earlier, when we were kids, and like I would watch Comic View all the time, and that was probably my first introduction, even before Comedy Central. It was like Comic View, Delirious, and like George Carlin specials, and then Chappelle's Show hit sometime in high school. Of course, that was the big thing. But when you were saying about how you look at that when you're younger and say, "Oh, those guys are just up there talking," like it's just magic. This is what they do all the time. I think that goes across every age group. I'll talk to family members. Like I had an uncle who was like, "Yeah, I went to this show. He's saying the same stuff I saw on TV." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's an act. Like he builds it." He's like, "I want to hear new stuff." I'm like, "Well," I was like, "Well, you messed up and watched them on TV. It would be new to you if you just went in cold." But people don't get it. They think comics are doing a new show every night.
Yeah,
Which I think the only person you ever hear that story of is like Richard Jenny, who I never really watched. I don't know. I know that he was died in the early 2000s, maybe. I forget, but that's the stories of like he would have like 3 different hours for 3 nights at clubs. Like that's the only time, which is wild to
that's
me.
insane. Yeah.
I know. So, I mean, that's extremely talented, but there's also like weird, dark stories there of like he was jealous of Jerry Seinfeld and like that he didn't reach that level and eventually became unfortunately suicidal there. But I don't want to, I don't want to bring us down too much, but that's the dark side of that. Um, so I did want to mention this earlier, and I wanted to talk about this because you've been putting it on your Instagram. So you're a big weed smoker for 20 years, longer than that.
I started at 18, so yeah, 23 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems late because I started at 19 and I always felt like I didn't want to do it in high school and even like early college. And then, yeah, like 19. But why, if you want to share a little bit about that, why you decided to stop?
I'm mainly stopping for comedy. Like, I'd really like just to give myself the best chance possible of landing a job that will work for me with, schedule wise. So that's, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's okay. That's really
Yeah.
admirable. Do you
Yeah.
feel
I
like,
probably,
no, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
s- probably won't ever go back to smoking daily how I was, but I definitely want to go back to smoking. But yeah, I might as well, cut back when I do return.
Do you drink at all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I had to quit beer. I think I got like some sort of intolerance or something. I just wake up feeling I could drink one beer and wake up like just feeling super hungover, like sinus stuffed and all that. So I switched to tequila recently, but yeah, I drink about maybe 3 to 4 nights a week, especially if I go out and do comedy. Yeah,
Yeah. So tequila, I'm with you on in terms of like not having a hangover. And
yeah.
I experienced that. I was like a couple years ago, like the oldest person on my friend's bachelor party. And I was like, I got through the weekend just by drinking tequila. But I actually I'll drink here and there. I stopped drinking in like 23 and even in 2023. And then in like smoking, I definitely like scaled back. I was like daily for a long time. And even doing comedy, I feel like there's been times where I can remember like getting on stage high. Getting on stage drunk definitely doesn't work for me. I mumble, but getting on stage high, sometimes I would like it and sometimes I wouldn't. And I guess that was just kind of the balance of like however much I had ingested.
You gotta you gotta find a sweet spot with weed as far as being
Yeah.
on stage. Like maybe like smoke like 2 hours before supposed to go up. But yeah, not definitely not right before.
That's a good, yeah, no, not right before. And even like when it comes to smoking, like I switched over to like really vaping because that kind of hits different too. Um,
Yeah.
it's a little more steady. Um, but yeah, man, good for you because that's a really good. I wouldn't have even thought about that of like drug testing and things like that. So it's not legal in or decriminalized in Cleveland.
It's legal, but that's a like so it's two laws. Like I know in
Mm.
Cali and I think even in New York, they passed it to where the weed is legal, and then they passed the law to where jobs can't test for it because it's legal. Here we just passed the legal weed part, but jobs can still test for it.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think in Philly it's different. They won't test. That's like the one thing they won't test for with jobs, which makes sense if you're going to legalize it or decriminalize it.
yeah.
So, yeah, but that's weird with two laws. But do you
Yeah.
feel at all like I'll ask two questions. Do you feel like more focused, and do you ever feel like less creative? I know it's and how long has it been since you stopped, I should say. Just
This is day 11.
okay.
Um, I definitely do feel more focused. I won't even say more focused, less distracted. It's just I won't say like I'm just necessarily more focused, but definitely less distracted. And no, I think your creativity is still there. Like I'm still just as goofy, still just as silly. Like yeah, so I think that's fine. I used to think that like that's why I never wanted to quit before, like with doing music and stuff.
Hmm.
Like nah, I ain't gonna be creative no more. But that stuff is just in you.
I agree with you because I used to feel that way about drinking too. Be like, well, I'm going to have a drink while I write, not even just because I like to write, I'd like to get published, but it's kind of like you zoom out and listen to writers or read about people that say they stopped drinking and you realize that you didn't need it to write because you go back and do so much editing. Like it's, I know it like, you know, loosens up inhibitions and things like that. However, um, it just didn't work for me at a point. And also like daily smoking doesn't work with age either in a career. And it's complicated, but I like the way you put that. Because you're bringing yourself. You don't really need anything else for
Yeah,
for comedy. So that makes sense. Um, I appreciate I like learning about that journey. And good luck. Keep up the good work on that. I see you posting
thank
about
you.
it. So that's cool. How did the Riff Stop podcast come about? Who do you do that with?
I do the riff stop with two of my homies, and like one of my homies, we had a podcast when we used to work together. Um, and we started a podcast while we were working together called the No HR podcast because we would say stuff we couldn't say at work. And we had stopped that just because COVID and he just had some kids, so like everybody's life was kind of just crazy. But we were talking like we wanted to do another podcast, and this is when I was talking about wanting to try stand up. So we said let's kind of make it comedic, and we could talk about my journey as well as whatever else we would talk about.
That's pretty cool. And there are they comics as well?
No, my
Oh.
one boy he's gone up a couple times. He wants to be, but like he's got to find his time balance with work and kids and stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to push him. The other guy's not really that funny. Cool guy though. He has his moments on the podcast for sure, but I don't know if he could get up there and be funny.
I feel the opposite way about myself. I can be funny on stage, but I feel like I'm more like interview based in this conversation, but also like meeting new people. Like you guys are
Oh
in
yeah,
person. It's a lot easier to riff when you're not on Zoom and when you're not, you're just meeting someone for the first time. But
definitely.
that's funny that you have him on there and he's not he's not funny. Uh, you mentioned the No HR podcast. Is there any topics that you like won't touch on as a comic on stage?
Nothing that I've come across. Like the only stuff I stay away from is stuff I just don't know about. So like basically political stuff because I just don't know shit about politics. I
Yeah.
don't follow the news like that. Like people talking about Iran and stuff. I like don't get those jokes because I don't know what's going on.
Just staying in your lane, that makes sense. A lot of people, yeah, I've talked to a couple people about not touching on politics, like unless you're really ready to write about it and make a good point, because it also is going to could divide the crowd, but it also is like, what do you think is funny? If that's not making you laugh because you're not following it, you're not going to be able to make somebody else
Right.
laugh with it. I get that. Yeah. What's something that you're working on right now that's working for you as a bit that you really enjoy?
I got this joke about how Michael Jackson's dance, like his signature moves, all of them will unstick your balls from your leg if they're stuck there.
That's just good stuff. That's just funny stuff.
There's a lot of act out in it, but yeah, it's been working pretty well.
Nice. Is there anything that's not working or that's like just for the comics and you in the back of the room?
I I don't really have one that doesn't work like for the crowd, but works for comics. But comics seem to like this one joke more than the crowd. It's such a dumb, simple joke. It's like I used to have a nice beard, but then we broke up. Like that's literally the joke. Like it's so simple.
That's all right.
Thank you. Yeah, like
That's
it's just yeah.
yeah.
I feel like it's
Um,
almost a cheat code because like I feel like somebody else probably thought of that, but like only maybe 0.5% of comics could actually pull that joke off just from being masculine and gay. Like
I already forgot. I didn't ask you any questions about being gay, but I wasn't prepared for that. But yeah, that's funny, man. Um, there's kind of two questions here. I wish I would have printed this out so I can keep clicking to my little questions. But what I guess who or what inspires you, and then who or what makes you laugh?
inspires me like currently or like just all time. And
You could look at it both ways. You could say as like a comic, as an artist, whatever. There's now doesn't have to be one answer.
um I mean I was always a huge Chris Rock fan, like it just his stand up and even like the comedic songs he would make.
Oh yeah, no sex in the
Chappelle,
champagne
of
room.
course. Yes, yes, that's what made me buy that album.
Yeah.
Chappelle, Chappelle show, his stand-ups, like Chappelle, like was the first time I realized what a call, like using a call back to close the set, like man, that's so powerful. Like, um, let me see. I mean, I take inspiration from everywhere. I know people hate this guy right now, but Kanye is a huge inspiration, just creatively. Like the dude is like, yeah,
He was my
I was,
favorite. I fell off kind of after Yeezus and maybe Life of Pablo, but I mean, Dark Fantasy is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's one of the greatest hip hop albums, if not albums ever. So I feel you. It's tough with Kanye
yeah.
right now.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not so bad now because the music isn't there to make you want to listen to so much. But
hmm
yeah, as long as the old stuff is there, I'm good. Yeah, but yeah,
I just
there's
wish he would come around from like I mean, it's obviously like mental health issues, not to say like that to excuse a lot of what he says, but it's kind of like this guy lost his mind. You could see that on the documentary too. But in
yeah,
terms of somebody who, yeah, who just could do it all across the board musically, incredibly talented, incredibly charismatic, transcend. My dad
music.
like Gold Digger. Like, I mean, that's he's crossing boundary. Like, I mean, he's an international superstar. But yeah,
I mean, he made like outside of music, like he made some of the dopest Nikes ever. Like the Yeezys, like the Red Octobers. Like people, like man, those
I mean,
shoes
he
are
changed the
crazy.
look of the way shoes are designed. Like even with Adidas, like
Yeah,
every pair of like Adidas running shoes that you buy is pretty much shaped because of him and when
yeah,
he
yeah,
made that transition. So yeah,
yep. They all got the woven uppers now with the like wide
uh
sole. Yeah, yeah,
huh. He left his
yeah.
mark no matter what.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And what about in terms of like what makes you laugh? Usually, what like I mean, obviously Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock. I'm a huge Shane fan.
hmm
I like Soder. Um, I listen. I watch a bunch of guys, especially clip like Big J's crowd work. I watch all his crowd work clips. Um, Norman, of course. Uh, it's so many. But yeah, I watch like Kill Tony religiously. That's always a good time. Uh, see. Oh, Sound Talent. That dude.
Oh, did you read
Sound
Running the
Talent.
Light?
Not yet. I plan to get it soon, but
Yeah.
that dude, like seeing him live is crazy. Like you can't like he effortlessly jumps in and out of like written stuff to crowd work and
Uh
he's
huh.
just a master of the stage. It's
I
crazy.
saw him at Helium, I think, a couple of years ago, maybe when the book came out. He's awesome. And
Yeah.
Shane, watching that process develop from like the Philly area, like his closer now apparently in the arena shows is something that I heard him do on a show that I produced in 2017. So it's just it's crazy. Like he was a really, really nice guy when he was around on the scene. But like we're outside of Kill Tony, I don't really watch Kill Tony. I've watched clips of that, but we're following the same circuit basically, but
Yeah.
mostly like that East Coast kind of thing. Well, I guess now Austin for most, but
Yeah, they all did move down there.
and Big J. Yeah, Big J started in Philly too. That's right.
Yep.
But he used
With
to
Kevin
work.
Hart, oddly enough. That's crazy.
Yeah, they all, well, like in Philly, I think back to like Helium has only been here since like 2006. And prior to that, there was the Laugh House where Kevin Hart started, which was like a primarily black club, but any comic starting back then worked there. That was
Hmm.
like the scene in Philly. So that's where that Big J, I think, Kevin Hart connection comes from. So it's kind of funny to think about. That's like 20 years ago. I didn't know anything about comedy or even in Philly. I really wasn't
Yeah.
aware back then. I was more into music, really. So um, that's really funny. Um, are you are you concerned with your legacy at all? And if so, how do you want to be remembered?
Not too concerned. I just want people to remember me as being dope at whatever I do.
Nice.
That's all. Like I don't have to like have crazy accolades or anything. I just want people like I know I've said it with music. Like the people who are familiar with my music, I got their respect. So that's cool. And now I'm, trying to do that with comedy, maybe on a bigger scale because I didn't have that many people listening to my music. But yeah, just want to be dope and yeah, have people know it.
Awesome. What would I want to say 25-year-old you, but let's think about something you said earlier. What would 12-year-old you think about you now? And what would 29-year-old you think about you now?
12-year-old me would be like, what the fuck? Like, cause like 12-year-old me was just music. Like, I just want to be a rapper. That's all it was. He like, wait, you doing comedy now? Like, that's funny though. Like, that's what everybody will say. 29-year-old me probably start a slow clap. Uh, it's like at 29, I was like still scared of the world.
Hmm,
Just like public speaking, public speaking. Yeah, I would have never like at 29. I would go on stage if I had music behind me. I would have never just went up there and talked.
gotcha.
Um, yeah, it's hard to say, but I think both would be proud.
Nice. That's important. That's really cool. Um, yeah, I think I want to end there. Is there anything you want to add or share? Anything upcoming or where you want people to find you?
No, just check me out, Learning the Bomb on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to catch me out doing comedy, come to the west side of Cleveland, open mics, One Star, Brothers Lounge, sometimes on the east side at Unbar or Make 'em Laugh Mondays. But yeah, anybody got any questions or anything, feel free to reach out. Open book. Uh, yeah, I just love this shit.
Nice. This was a lot of fun. Thank you. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank you, man. Thank
So
you. Definitely had fun.
yeah, when you're on the East Coast, let me know. Or if I'm in Jamestown, I'll let you know. So
Yeah, will do.
very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man.